Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, January 17th, 2018. Of course, today was New Comic Book Day, which means right now is New Comic Book video time. So I'm going to show you the books I picked up this week. I showed some Golden Age books last week and got a lot of responses and some private messages from people saying, hey, I like the Golden Age stuff. If you get any more, show them. I did get a couple more in the mail from a seller that I've dealt with in the past, and I'll show those. Nothing spectacular, nothing super high-end. And then I have a question as it relates to comic shops for you and what you look for, what you don't look for. So let's kind of jump right into the books. I showed you last week, or the week before, it was a Kong and the Planet of the Apes, and it was going to be a connector cover. This is the other part of that cover. I haven't had a chance to put it together, but there's a lot of stuff going on in this page. I mean, if you look at it, there's just tons of action going on. So I think when it's connected, it's going to look really, really nice. Going on with the books. Trinity, number 17. Venom Inc., part 6. Kind of a cool cover right there. Deadpool vs. Old Man Logan number 4, and this was the variant edition. I was lucky to find this because they only had a couple of them, and this was it here. Really cool cover on that. I think that was the best cover. The other cover for number 4 for this wasn't really impressed with, so I was lucky. I was very happy when I was able to grab this one here. Batman 39, cover A. And Batman 39, cover B. I like this cover. There's Wonder Woman with the lasso of truth, and then, of course, she's wearing the Batman cape right there, which I thought was a really cool touch. Second printing of Batman White Knight number 3. I'd said in previous videos, I'm really enjoying that story. I know a lot of you are probably enjoying it as well, but I liked the idea of the 2 Harleys, and so the second print came out with the 2 Harleys on it. And I thought that was a pretty nice touch, so I definitely had to grab one of those. And then Harley Quinn 35. Again, I stated in the past, I'm not a big Cho fan as it relates to, how he draws his characters. And there's just another example. I mean, I'm just not wild about it, but I like the Harley Quinn story, and ultimately that book is going to go out anyways. So, part of the metal tie-ins. It's going to be hard to see probably. This is Hawkman Found, number 1. I tried to get a new lighting system in. My wife put it in there. So tell me in the comments if it looks better, if it doesn't look better, or whatnot. So at the shop today, a buddy of mine was there, and he says, hey, did you get the Ice Cream Man hot book today? And I was like, you know what? I had that on a list, and I forgot all about it, and he reminded me, so I went and I grabbed some. So here is, from Image, Ice Cream Man number 1. And then the cover everybody wanted, or the one that's going hot. If you look at this online, these things were already selling $10, $11, $12, $13 for these books. So, and this was Ice Cream Man. This is the cover everybody's grabbing. So I was happy to be able to grab a couple of those. And a couple weeks ago, I remember Stabbity Bunny had come out, and I had mentioned that. If you look online, that book is continuing to sell because it sold out very quickly. So that's what I picked up as it relates to the new books. And then I showed some older books. We had a conversation about, older books, Golden Age books, and how they're getting more and more difficult to find. Anything. I mean, everybody, of course, wants the Batmans and the Green Lanterns and, the EC and things of that nature. But the bottom line is, a lot of those just aren't out there. Speculators have snatched them up. Investors have snatched them up. So if you can find them in decent condition, grab them. Even if it's the only book you buy, because that's what is going to really, hold its course and still be hot. But when I reopen my shop, I want to have a selection of a little bit of everything. And those of you who went to my shop prior knew I had that. I had a nice selection of Golden Age already. And not so much the big key Golden Age books, but I had a lot of weird offbeat, Champion the Horse, and I had some Archie and some Pep Comics and things of that nature. So kind of like middle of the road, but things you just don't see when you walk into a comic shop and ask for older books and see how many Golden Age they're going to pull out from the 50s or, even 1960s. So let's jump into some of the books I got. I got kind of a rattle right there. Sorry about that. Archie, number 104, Fine Condition. Betty and Veronica on the cover. Whenever anybody wants to buy Archie, anything with Betty and Veronica on the cover always seems to do very, very well. So there was that. From 1960, Volume 1, Number 51, Popeye, Dell Comics. Very fine. It's a very nice looking book. Of course, you're going to have a little bit of issues with the age of the book, but for the most part, this is a very solid, very fine in my opinion. And you don't see a lot of books like that, especially from Dell. It's hard to find them in really, really good condition because of the cheapness of the paper they use. And then a book from the Archie series, which is from 1959. A book I remember a long time ago, and I didn't get it. When I went back to get it, it was gone. I was at a show, and I was kind of irritated, but I had an opportunity to get one, and I did. I like kind of that offbeat stuff once in a while, just kind of, you know, not mainstream, just things that make me laugh, and this made me laugh. And this is from 1959, in fine condition, Super Duck, number 88. I just think that's a cool little cover right there. Good yellow, good color on this thing. Looking really, really nice. So, only picked up a couple of older books. I'm kind of being picky with the older books. It's got to have a certain, you know, catch to me. So, the question I wanted to ask, and again, I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. And I'm going to do these videos every week, so tell your friends if you like it. If you follow my Facebook on my Arkham Facebook account or my Instagram, you probably saw these already. But when you go to a shop, and this is kind of a throw-out question there for everybody. When you go to a shop, what are you looking for? Are you just looking for books? You just want to go in and out? Do you want to have a place where you can just kind of hang out, BS for a little bit, talk about whatever topic of conversation you want to talk about? When I had my original space, I had, you know, the big TV that was showing, I showed a lot of the 50s and 60s television serials and the movie serials, and people really liked to watch that. I had a group of people that would come in. We would just talk about whatever the topic was. I believe a comic book shop should be kind of a, you know, kickback, talk, BS, just have a good time. But too many of them this day and age don't do that. It's all about the dollar and the, you know, gimme, gimme, gimme. And it's not really comfortable for me. That's why it's hard for me to find places to buy stuff, because I'm really not like that. So, and, you know, from my perspective, again, I'm kind of rattling. I'm real tired. It's real late here right now. So, excuse me for the weirdness of this video. So, I like a shop that kind of is easy to find things. I tried to make the stuff I had easy to find. And my opinion is, if you take care of the books, if the owner takes the time to take care of the books are probably going to be in better condition. And it means that he cares about his business. He cares about his customers. That's what I tried to convey. I was really good at that. And I had customers that came back because of that. So I didn't come up with the idea. It was something that I've been thinking about, and I had to find a way to do it. I wanted to make a custom label. I have a pretty good following with the Arkham name, Arkham Comics Las Vegas. And my logo, you can see the Joker back there. It's real, you know, kind of, everybody kind of notices that Joker when they see it on a t-shirt or something. So I thought, you know what? Let me try to come up with a way to mark my books. When a person buys the books, they say, hey, you got that from Arkham. So this is the labels I came up with. All this was address labels. I got a program. I picked up some address labels. I think the cost factor on this, on each label, is 1.1 cent, is what it is. The only time-consuming thing is putting the information into the system to print out on the labels. And that takes some time. But they come, this is 30 to a sheet. And this is what I've come up with. Tell me what you think. It's basically just going to be a sticker that goes on the outside of the book. Of course, on the plastic, not on the book. Someone said, you're going to put it on the book? No, I'm not going to put it on the book. And so that's kind of what it is, as you can see kind of close. It's got my logo on it. It's got the name. And then it's just got some basic information. You know, name of book, year the book was done, grade of the book. Because I have been getting a lot of requests from former customers, people that still text me and say, hey, when are you going to open up again? And viewers who are like, look, I know your grading standards are tough. We know you do a good job grading books, and I would like you to pre-screen some books for me. Well, I can use these labels if I decide to do that, where you send me a book or you drop books off, and I screen them, and I can put the information on these labels and then stick it on, you know, the cover of the book. That way you know that I graded it with my logo, and the grade that I think the book should be. That's just kind of something that I want. But again, here's another thing, because people keep saying, I don't do things for a financial aspect. You know, I do the shop because I enjoy doing the shop, not because I have to pay my bills. I have a job to pay my bills. It was just something that I love doing. I love the industry. I've talked about that before. I love dealing with the customer base. I love dealing with the people in the community. And I think they get a sense of that. That's why I had a pretty good thing going. But, of course, someone said, hey, you should be charging for screening. So I'm going to throw it out there. What's a fair price to screen for a book? You know, I mean, if a person comes into the shop, but I don't have a shop, I'll be doing this from home. You know, I always screen books for people, but if someone wants to say, hey, I want to give you a bunch of books to you know, screen for me before I send them in to get graded, either CBCS or CGC, what's a fair price to charge? I don't know. I don't think about that. I'll throw that out there. It's kind of a question of the day. So that's what we have. Again, new lighting system. Let me know what you think of it. If it works, I'm doing this off of a phone, so I need to get a little feedback on there. So thank you very much. Again, I want to thank everybody. Really good feedback, positive comments. I love my viewers because, you know, I think they're just kind of straightforward. If they don't like something, they're going to say it and I'll answer back. So, but always in a positive. That's the give and take. That's, you know, coming back and forth. So I appreciate that. If you're not a fan of the video, give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. Thumbs up if you like it. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. If you think you might know somebody who would enjoy the channel, have them subscribe. So that was the video today. I hope you liked it. But if you didn't, as always, nothing I can do for you. Have a great night, and I look forward to your answers on the question.